What up, guys? Daily come out, and we got the Sevens New Road box review. So, a couple things about this box. Sevens main boxes are 140 packs. They are not 180 like Duel Links boxes. There are 70 card types in each box, and there are 140 cards. Now, there are still, I believe there's the same number. No, there's 10 URs. So there's 10 URs in these boxes, and there's the same number of SRs. So let's get into it. So this box has each of the ace monsters for each of the characters, including the event character, the first event character, Yugioh the Boogie Master. This is going to be Mimi's boss, and it's also here as well. And it's got some a couple supporting cards for each of them. So let's go through them. I'm not going to break down every card, because obviously if you've been playing the game, then you know about them. But right now, as of the start of the game, I'm just going to tell you guys what is really popping off and what you really want to prioritize. So Sevens Road Magician, definitely insane. You're probably going to want to get as many copies of this card as you can, because later down the line, it's going to be really, really supported. So you definitely want to pick it up. Multi-Strike Dragon Yugioh. This right now is, people are playing 3 of this card. It's limited to 3 for a reason. It is absolutely insane. It's probably the most threatening boss monster in the game. Can attack twice at 2500. It can just deal 5000 direct. It can attack directly. Yeah, I mean, not 5000 direct. It can attack you directly for its second attack. It doesn't have to attack a second monster on there. So look, if it's ever me, you reset on Yugioh. You have to get through Yugioh if you can. Probably the best card in the box. The thing is about this box, though, is that all the URs are pretty good. So I wouldn't say any of them are like instant skips, but maybe we'll get to one. Currybot is also pretty good. You can get a monster back, if you need more tribute fodder. So yeah, here's a UR though, so maybe you don't have to go out of your way to get them. I've got 2, but I've seen people playing 3, so for sure. Dragonic Slayer in Dragon decks, I think this is just a one-of. I don't think you need many copies of this. There is a skill that lets you search this card and another level 7 Earth Dragon, so I would only play 1 or 2 copies of this, no more than that, but it is a pretty interesting card. Its effect is kind of lackluster. You do have to have another level 7 dragon, so you do have to kind of be smashing your opponent in order to get that spell or trap destruction. But when you do hit it, it's going to be really good, because if you hit Phantom Bind and you're playing a dragon deck, Phantom Bind hurts you a lot if you're playing a deck that is 1 type, so yeah. Prima Katarna, pretty insane, man. I'd say this monster right now is more powerful than Sevens Road Magician. Boosting yourself up to 3100 and the rest of your monsters is great for OTK potential, and it boosts your entire field regardless of what monster you have. It is not super type specific, so I'm loving that card right now as well. People are playing 3 Prima Katarna, 3 Yugioh in their aggro decks, and they're absolutely shredding. So Yami Ruler. So this card is pretty interesting. You summon it, then you can change it to defense, and then make it so your opponent cannot tribute summon on the next turn. There are decks that utilize this right now, and the effect is pretty good. I think later this effect is going to end up getting outclassed. There are a few ways to get around it, but it having 2500 defense is a pretty solid strategy right now, right? Not much can lower your defense, and if you're not tributing for level 7, then there is no way you're getting over 2500 defense. So it is a good strategy for catching your opponent off guard. Maybe if you deal with their level 7s already, then you summon Yami Ruler on them and just make it impossible for them to build up a board against you again. So I'd say if you want to play this deck, it's definitely an interesting playstyle. I personally haven't dove into it yet, but it does have its uses. So if you're going to play this deck, it's definitely going to be a 3 of. Yeah. Pierce is something that I've seen some people play at 3, and I've seen some people play no Pierce. It just gives 1 monster piercing for free. That's it. Is it good enough to play in aggro decks? Maybe. Most of the time, people have attack position monsters anyway, because people rarely turtle in this game, especially when you already have established high-level monsters. They're going to do what they can within that 1 turn to clear your board. So I don't think the amount of opportunities for your opponent to put up defense position monsters against you is all that high. However, it will come in clutch if you need to finish off your opponent and they have a low amount of life points for sure. Yugioh, gain 1000. Not bad, dude. I think it's definitely going to be good in those psychic decks right now that are making you pay life points as well. But this is definitely going to come into play with the other Aquas when Mimi comes out. Dark Magician Girl. This is pretty good, man. So you're just going to gain 2,500. It's going to become a 2,500 beat stick. And if you have the Dark Magician skill, this card with Dark Magician, this is a pretty good strategy, the two of them together. It's going to be good in spellcaster decks, but, you know, definitely not something that's overly powerful right now. If you're playing this, you're pretty much locking your deck to spellcasters, because that's what you're going to be playing around Dark Magician, Sevens Road, and this card. And last but not least, for viewers, we got Rice Terrace Secure. So this is send a level 5 or higher monster from your hand to the graveyard and then swap something to defense. I don't know. This is also going to be probably one of those Mimi cards, but sending a level 5 or higher monster is like, man, you kind of want to win with that monster unless, you know, your opponent has like something that is really big, like a level 7, and you need to switch it to defense in order to deal with it some other way, right? That's kind of the only scenario where this card is good if your opponent does have a level 7 or higher monster. And even then, you're going to want to have more than one level 5 or higher monster because you're going to want to kill the monster instead of just switching it to defense, ultimately. So, yeah, that's that. So that's URs. Let's go over the SRs real quick. Boom. We got Gravity Press Dragon, level 6, 1500 attack dragon. Send a card to the grave. Something loses 700 attack defense. So this is one way that you are going to get over Yami Ruler, man. Gravity Dragon will decrease Yami Ruler down to 1700 defense, and then if you have another level 6 tribute, like, I don't know, the 2100 Luke Dragon, you can get over that easy. You know, anything else that's level 6 has 2k attack, boom, that's a 1 tribute, you get over it. And it lowers other stuff too. Sevens Road, Prima Katarna deals with those guys easy peasy. Pretty nice. Dragonic Pressure. This card is insane. I've been playing it on my Dragon deck. Send 3 Dragon type monsters from your hand to the graveyard. Destroy all monsters on the field. And if you destroy a monster, special summon 1 level 4 lower Dragon type monster from your graveyard to your field in defense. This is the setup for a huge combo in the Dragon deck that allows you to destroy all monsters on the field, then summon 2 monsters back from the graveyard. The Sports Dragon Pitcher and the Slugger. These guys have synergy where if you special summon one, when you have one, you can get the other one from the graveyard. Then you've got materials for Yugioh. Then you can OTK your opponent after you wipe the board. Pretty insane, and it's what's making Dragons one of the better decks right now for sure. Yeah, I love that card, man. Sevens Road Witch. It's a level 6. You send something away, and you can special summon a level 7 dark or higher dark attribute spellcaster. So Dark Magician or your Sevens Road. You're gonna special summon either of them. And then this card becomes a 2k beat stick. Look, if you're playing those spellcaster decks, this is going to be sick. I was experimenting with a Dragon Caster deck where I play a bunch of Dragon stuff, but then I splash in 2 Sevens Road Witch and 2 Sevens Road Magician, just because you can get it out pretty easily if you see both of them in your hand. It's a really big power play. Next, we've got Spice. This is a level 7 Pyro. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. All Pyros gain attack equal to the number of normal Pyros in your graveyard. So this is the other strategy that's in the game right now, I guess. Pyro monsters, right? Fire monsters. Then this is also, goes along with it, the Rock monster. This synergizes with Sevens Road, I believe. There's a skill for it. If you have a face-up level 7 or higher spellcaster on your field during the turn, you normal summon this card, send this face-up card from your field to the graveyard, destroy all level 6 or higher monsters. Whoa. That is pretty powerful, man. I wonder if the skill for Yugioh is going to be worth using that with the Sevens Blaze spell. This card is pretty good, man. Although, you know, if you are playing one of those spellcaster decks with Sevens Road, this is going to cripple you, so you're not going to be able to use those skills and play this card. This card is pretty good, though. I think it's worth playing. We got Thunder the Thunder. This card is also really good. Send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. 1 face-up monster on your opponent's field loses 300 attack until the end of this turn. This can be the tide changer, man. This can be, you know, you can break early small boards with this card. You know, when your opponent summons like a 1600 attack monster or a 5 or 6 tribute monster, you can use this, lower it down. Or if you have a level 7 play and your opponent also has one and they're equal attack, Thunder the Thunder is going to make it so that your guy wins so you don't have to crash. So absolutely love this guy. Get 3. All the SRs, I would say to get 3. The only other one of note, I think, is going to be Phantom Bind. This is pretty much the only trap card that's not specific that is seeing play right now. It says when an opponent's monster declares an attack, the attacking monster loses attack equal to the number of monsters with its same type in your opponent's graveyard times 100. So when your opponent is playing a deck that is playing like a bunch of different types, this is not going to affect them. But if your opponent is playing all dragons or all spellcasters or all warriors or all psychics, this is going to demolish them. And later it's going to be all aquas as well. And even if you get to the late stages of the duel and your opponent has a lot of like spellcasters and dragons, this is still going to lower them down quite a bit. So Phantom Bind, get 3. I don't know if a lot of the King of Games deck lists that I've seen so far, not a lot of them are playing Phantom Bind at 3. But if you are worried, you know, and you do want to have some interruption to save you, Phantom Bind is good. However, it's not a level 7 monster, right? So it's not really going to win you the duel. It's just going to save your ass when, you know, you are getting pressured. But, you know, I think that is good enough to justify playing it in some capacity. So the rest of the guys are Kimi Ruler. If you're going to play Yami Ruler, you got to get 3 of him. And this guy's a warrior. You're going to play him in the warrior deck. And these are psychics. You're going to play him in the psychic deck. Dude, what's the level 2 psychic monster that you are supposed to play in this deck, in the psychic deck? It must be in here somewhere. A level 2 psychic monster, dude. Like, what could it possibly be? A level 2 monster, dude. There's Harpy Girl. There's like, what is there? Katar Kid? Kitar Kid. Oh my gosh, dude. That's it. They want me to play Kitar Kid? Watt Kiss? This is what they want me to play? Level 2 psychics for that skill? I don't know, man. Whatever. So Sevens New Road, you know, if you're going to play Rush Duel, this box is a must go in, right? It's not even a question. If you're going to play Rush Duel, this box has all of the foundations for these decks that are going to be much more powerful later on. So definitely you got to get through Yugioh. 3 Sevens Road at some point. Right now, Prima Gatarna is probably the second best boss monster. So if you can, I'd get 3 of those. You know, from what I've seen, committing to one type right now is not super huge. So while I do like the dragon deck, or you may like the psychic deck, it's better to kind of just mix a lot of this stuff together, because being able to play these different level 7s together is really what's going to give you the best opportunity to interrupt your opponent the most. And I think that's what is the best way to win duels right now, right? Always being able to bring out Yugioh as your level 7 or Prima Gatarna to boost up your entire field. I feel like those are the most powerful boosts right now. Sevens Road is nice. However, it does require a little more setup than I would like. And I think Prima Gatarna just does a little bit more. I think you're going to be able to etch out more damage as well with Prima Gatarna. And you're going to be able to boost your Yugioh as well. So for power plays, it's going to be better than Sevens Road for that. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the box. You know, I shouldn't really have to tell you, if you like in Rush Duel, to buy this box. If you were skeptical about Rush Duel and we're kind of waiting to see what we get on release to kind of decide if you want to go in, this is what I will say, right? This box, it does the same thing that every other box since they've started including all of the ace monsters in the first box has done, right? It does the same as the R5 release box and the same as the Vrain's release box. It gives you access to simple strategies for each of the decks, and for this one, it allows you to mix together some of the engines for the decks to make, you know, powerful other strategies. Did I wish that we got stronger cards? For sure. You know, but I think that this box does its job. I think that the reason why we're kind of feeling the fact that we're missing more variety in cards is because we did, of course, get shorted in the gate drops and the level up rewards. But I think that this box does have all of the foundations for a diverse meta going forward for Rush Duels. I think as long as every month they give us something different to really push a different deck forward and not really dawdle around and give us, like, you know, trash like we do with Duel Links, I think that these boxes can be very, very relevant one after the other. They really just have to start right away, giving us very good, very impactful cards. I don't think they can afford to slack around giving us bad boxes. I would very much like them to give us impactful cards with every box, especially because our card pool was pretty small at launch. I think that they have plenty of room to give us, you know, better cards very soon, right? So that's my hope. Of course, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be disappointed. But I do think because of the way the world launched, the following boxes should have more support cards. And I do think that this box was kind of heavy loaded because of the fact that the character level ups were kind of short, right? So each deck got a UR, maybe a support UR, and they got like 2 support SRs as well. And these cards are not terrible, right? They're all... Sevens Road Witch is actually really good. Gravity Press Dragon is also really good. Thunder is really good. So I'm liking the box. Let me know what you guys think. I'm liking Rush Duel as well. I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea right now. Stay tuned for my thoughts video later for that. But yeah, Sevens New Road. I'm liking the box. Definitely go through it 3 times if you're planning on playing Rush Duel. Peace out, guys. See you later.